Saha nāvavatu, saha bhunaktu, saha viryam karvavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we do brave work together, may our work be glorious, may there be no conflict among us, may there be peace, peace, peace. Welcome everyone. Can someone just confirm if they can see and hear me? Thank you. So let's begin with our today's meditation, and make yourself comfortable, rock yourself back and forth. Prepare for sitting for 20 minutes without any distraction. You can remove your spectacles if you wear any. Close your eyes. Keep your back, neck and head erect in one line. Keep your hands on top of each other in your lap or on your thighs. There may be a lot of things that we need to deal with, but for next 20 minutes, we are making a resolve to dedicate next 20 minutes to our practice. And after this 20 minutes, we can go back, engage in our activities with new vigor. Let's quickly scan our body to see if there is any point of tension, any pressure point, any part of the body which is in stress, and let's allow it to relax, starting from the head. Let's quickly scan. Sorry. Extremely sorry for this, but this is actually a good thing because I had not put a timer for 20 minutes. So now I'm going to put timer for 20 minutes. Somebody, I don't know, maybe from this server or some other well-wisher probably helped us to realize that we need to put a timer as well. So thank you for that caller as well. Let's put a timer for 20 minutes now. Let's get back. Let's take a couple of deep breaths.
Breathe in and breathe out. And let's quickly resume our body scan, starting from the head. Notice any area of tension, any contraction in your scalp region, back of your head, top of your head. Bring our attention to the forehead, our cheeks, our eyes. Let our eyes relax. Eyelids gently closed. Move our attention to our nose, lips, chin. Let the whole face relax. And keep moving your attention to your neck region. Throat, chest, trunk, belly, and abdomen. Keep your chest open and comfortably sit straight. As you breathe in, feel the expansion in your body. And as you breathe out, feel the very subtle fall of your belly and chest. Let's bring our attention to the back, to our shoulders, our upper back, spine, lower back. If there is any area of tension, just mentally make a note, make a suggestion. It is okay to relax. We are in a completely safe and secure environment. Let's bring our attention to the right arm, right elbow, right forearm, right wrist, right palm, back of the hand, and fingers. Let's take our attention to the left arm, left elbow, left forearm, left wrist, left palm, and back of the hand, and fingers. Let both the hands relax completely. Bring your attention to the right thigh, right knee, right shin, right ankle, right foot, and toes. Now to the left thigh, left knee, left shin, left ankle, left foot, and toes. Let the whole body relax. Take a moment to just be in this state. Become aware of the natural flow of breath in and out. Become aware of the very small movement, very little expansion that happens as you breathe in, and the slightest of contractions that happens as you breathe out. Without trying to change anything, simply observe. If you find yourself lost in thoughts, gently bring your awareness back to breath. Back to expansion and contraction of your torso as you breathe in and out. Do not force your breath to be longer or deeper. Just observe the natural rhythm. Just be there, observing the breath. The breath moves on its own. There is no reason to put any effort. Watch your breath flowing as if you are watching a river flowing, sitting on the bank of it. If you are lost in thoughts, gently come back. Relax and watch the natural flow of breath. Take a moment to acknowledge the beauty of this moment. May all beings be able to see this beauty intrinsically present in each moment. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinaḥ, sarve santu niramayaः, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaśyid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see good. May nobody ever suffer. May there be peace, peace, peace. Rub your palm against each other and cup your eyes with the warmth in your palm. Gently open your eyes. You can take a moment to reflect on how you are feeling after the session. It is also a good practice to, if you have a small diary or something handy, it's a good practice to quickly write one line or two about how you are feeling after the session in your diary so that you can track your progress over a period of time. So that was our sit today. If anyone wants to share anything, if anyone has any questions, they can join me on stage. They can raise hand or they can type in the event stage A chat. As far our talk is considered, we have already discussed all the 8 steps of Patanjali Yoga, starting from Yama Niyam to Samadhi, which we dealt in our last session. Beyond that is Kaivalya, and Samadhi itself is a very difficult topic to tackle if you have really not practiced for considerable time in the right way. Just time is not the only factor. So the method also needs to be proper to be able to reach stages of Samadhi and understand it. While we were talking about yoga, and Patanjali Yoga is the most relevant one for this group because this is a meditation related server, and meditation is the 7th step in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. But yoga in itself is a broader term. It just does not mean Patanjali Yoga or the Ashtanga Yoga. Yoga itself means union. And based on that definition of yoga, there are 4 different classifications of yoga. The Raja Yoga, which is also known as Patanjali Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and there are sub-variations inside of that, Hatha Yoga, Vinyasa, and all that stuff. But apart from that, there is also Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, Karma Yoga, the path of action, and Gyan Yoga, the path of knowledge. So somebody may question as to if somebody is working to earn their livelihood or to make their career, somebody is a student, is studying, and most of their time goes into studying, and they are really sincere with what they are doing. They are not wasting time, but they necessarily do not have the luxury or time to be able to sit and meditate for an hour or even 10 minutes, though that argument will itself have some flaws in it. But even if we consider that argument to be true, that somebody is so involved in just building their life that they do not have time to practice yama, niyama, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharan, all that stuff. Yama, niyama is not something that is separate from the life itself. Speaking truth is not something that you have to take out time to do. Non-violence is not something that you will have to take out some time to do it, right? Anything that you do, you have to do with that perspective. It is something which is ingrained in our life. There is no separation of yama and niyama from our life. So yama, niyama, for sure, anybody can practice. Maybe not niyama because it has swadhyay where you need to read scriptures, but yama for sure. And that's why yama in Patanjali Yoga Sutra is also called as something that has to be practiced by everyone, irrespective of where they are situated, irrespective of place and time, basically. So whether people of this century or previous century or next century, it will not change for anyone, irrespective of time, irrespective of place. Everyone has to follow yama. But if somebody can say that they do not have time to practice asana, pranayam, pratyahar, dharan, how do they achieve yoga? So karma yoga gives one solution to those people, that whatever you do, you can become a karma yogi if you do that same action, what you want to do, in the right intent. One single thing, if you want to take away and understand the principle, the main principle of karma yoga, is that whatever you are doing, do that work as an offering to the divine. If you don't believe in divine, because probably you also are not aligned to the path of devotion, so in that case, do it as a duty, do it as a responsibility, do it as something that you must do. Must do means, now people may say, why should there be anything that I must do? And if this is the reasoning, that why should there be anything that I must do, then evidently that reasoning is flawed, because to keep your body alive, you have to do certain things to earn your livelihood, to get the food on your plate. So there are always actions that we must do. The definition of duty or responsibility just makes it a little bit broader in the sense that now you are not just thinking about your body, but you are thinking about your family, your relatives. You are expanding that area which you consider as your purview. from just your body to everything, from your family, relatives, society, country, world, environment. So there are duties. If we see closely, there are duties for each of these things that we need to do, because environment is essential for our survival. So we need to be conscious about what choices we make and how those choices are affecting environment around us, natural environment, if I say. Similarly, country does a lot of things for their citizen. I mean, country in the sense, this idea of societies living together, that is essentially a country, not the geographical boundary. So that also is a cooperative structure. So unless people cooperate, a country cannot exist, a society cannot exist. So you also have to do your part to keep that structure alive. If you draw any benefit out of it, for sure, if it collapses, it will be a disaster. So inherently there are responsibilities towards that as well. There are responsibilities towards family members as well, because you sometimes need support, sometimes they need support. You can't just the base of this reasoning is again the simple understanding that man is a social animal. We are all social animal. It is very difficult to live isolated. So as long as you are part of the society, there are responsibilities. There is an inherent part that you have to play to keep things running smoothly. I was talking to somebody and I gave this example, like in a complex machine, every part of the machine has to work in synchronization. If one of the part goes out of synchronization, out of sync, then that one part experiences greater friction and is not good for long-lasting life of that part of the machine. And so is this society, so is this environment, so is this world. We are all just small, different parts of this one big whole machine. And if we go out of sync, if we do not contribute the way we should be contributing, then it becomes the source of our friction, source of our stress, source of our disappointment. In Gita, there is this sentence in which Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, doing your own duty, even in a flawed manner, is superior to doing someone else's work in excellent manner. So in that sentence, he is highlighting the importance of identifying what is your duty. Because only when you identify what is your own duty, then you can really implement this sentence, that if this is my duty, this is what I have to do. Even if I do it in a flawed manner, with all my capacity, this is the only level that I can exist in this particular work. That is fine. That is considered superior than doing someone else's work, in a better manner. So example, you can say, for example, your parents. Taking care of your parent, for example, is your duty. If you deny that duty, nobody else is gonna take up that duty and do that work for you. So even if you do that work in a flawed manner, it is considered superior to doing someone else's work and leaving behind your work undone. That is the meaning of this. So one has to identify what are their duties in this existence. If they want to survive, for sure, the initial thought will be from the survival itself, that if they want to survive, what are the things that they need to do? And then when the survival is taken care of, then the another question will arise is, if they want to live peacefully, if they want to live happily, Then what are the things that, and this is how you figure out what are the duties which are associated just to you, and you cannot neglect those. If you neglect those, then there will be that scenario of friction where you are not moving in sync with the existence. That is the basis of karma yoga. Doing action, taking it as a duty. Why taking it as a duty is important is because if you don't do your actions as duty, then you do action just by two reasons. One is either you are in love with something or you hate something. So either you want something to happen, there is a desire that makes you do something, or you don't want something to happen, and that aversion is making you do something so that you can postpone that event, or you can kind of stop something from happening. These are the two reasons. If you do not consider your desires, then either you are doing actions by desire or aversion. And when you do something by desire or aversion, then it creates patterns in your mind, subconscious, which is called sanskar in the traditional sense. So these actions create sanskar, sakam karma. So even the desire to avoid something, which we are calling aversion, is in its true sense a desire itself, right? So both of these can be clubbed together as desire to have or desire to not have, right? So desire, actions which are done under the influence of a desire is called sakam karma. Actions which are done under the influence of desire, and anything which is done under the influence of desire creates patterns in our mind. So as we do something, it creates a pattern. Next time the similar situation comes, that pattern initiates a thought in our mind that this is what should be done. And as we keep engaging in that pattern again and again, pattern gets deeper and deeper, becomes a habit. And more than a habit, it becomes a bondage. We cannot choose our path freely if that pattern gets sufficiently strong. That is bondage. That is not freedom. And the whole point of doing sadhana, the whole point of yoga is to move towards freedom. And there is a very famous verse in Gita which talks about this, karmanyeva adhikaraste. So it says that we have the right to do action, ma phaleshu kadachana, not on the duty, not on the fruits of that action. So we may think that if we do so and so, there will be such and such result, but that such and such result is never dependent on one factor, which is our action. It's always dependent on many multiple different factors. So we have the right to do action, but not on the rights of fruit. So if we understand this, that there is no right on the fruits of that action, then the whole system of working influenced by desire falls apart, because now you cannot desire for something because you know that your action is not the only factor resulting to a certain fruit. And then what is the motive of doing that action? And that motive is given as your duties. Understand that this is your duty and that is why you are doing it. This is the fundamental of karma yoga. One who does actions, understanding those actions to be their duty, they become free of any impact of that action. That person, even while taking all sorts of action, is not a doer. When I say is not a doer, means the fruits of his actions are not, those fruits of that action never become a binding force for that person. The person remains free even while doing all sorts of activities in this world. This is just a small shift in the intention in which we, the intention that we, act with. So if you just switch that intention, all the fruits of that action changes. You can see this happening in real life as well. Somebody killing someone just for a desire, maybe to have something or maybe to not have something, right? That desire. And somebody who is killing on the border, taking it as a duty, that he is doing this just for the sake of duty. You see, the impact is completely different, even in this physical, visible, material, man-made laws. And so is the case in universal law also. So if you do the same act out of compassion, out of love, out of the feeling of, out of the feeling that this is your duty, this is something that is ascribed for you to do, then it has a completely different effect than when you think that you are the doer and this is your decision to do something, and your decision is based on, again, your emotional impulse of this is what you want to achieve or this is what you want to avoid. This is the basic of karma yoga. And this is, even though this is just the basic, but this is also all of your karma yoga that is to be put into practice. There are other aspects to karma yoga about how an action gets ascribed to a being and how it affects the next life and all that stuff. But all that is something that we need not to worry about. If we just want to put something in our practice, this is the part of karma yoga that can directly be put into practice and we can be free. So one need not do hours of meditation, one need not do hours of chanting, devotion, anything. Whatever they are doing, if they just change a little bit of their mind space and change the intent of why they are doing something, they are free. So easy, right? This is karma yoga. I'm sure that there will be a lot of questions around this, and a lot of people who are listening to this may not understand how this has to be put in practice just by listening to it for the first time. And I'm open if there is any questions, any comments, someone wants to share something. They can write in the chat or they can raise their hand. I can invite them on the stage and they can ask their question. Good explanation. Thank you. Okay, so that was pretty much it for karma yoga. And feel free to ask if you have any further question on anything that we have discussed, not just this session, but any session in past also that we have done. All of those, most of those are available on YouTube. And if you have any question, any doubt, you can ping me anytime, message me, ask in this chat, tag me, anything is fine. And if there is no questions or comments, then we can wrap this session for today. Okay. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you everyone for joining.